This is Morten from Inkish. We are still here with Landa and still also with Yarden, so fantastic. Yarden, good to see you again.
Yeah, you too.
I mean, we cannot talk Landa without talking a little bit more about technology, right?
Yeah. Talk about the press.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you go here and tell us a little bit, what do we see here?
So basically, the press, it's a combination of both worlds, digital and analog and offset. The whole sheet transport system is based on a Komori GL40, so very robust technology. Komori has been around for more than 100 years, one of the biggest offset producers. So it's a fully automated feeder, which has all the upgrades and all the features that basically every Komori that is being sold has. We already also have a feeder stand here, so the operator
can actually manage everything that you can control.
Yeah, so this is the same operating system as the press in the cockpit.
Also, he can basically operate it from both sides.
Yeah,
basically.
You can operate it from both sides, and you can see also the feeder bridge, very same and standard. So for now, we will ask Oleg, who's our operator for today, to open up the covers a little bit.
Okay. But before we go to that, so basically everything to here is basically a Komori
everything
feeder, right?
Here, all the bottom
frame.
part of the press,
yeah.
Inline coating unit, hybrid coating unit, water-based, and UV.
Yeah.
With Harrison Bruno and Bolding drying system with a Komori tower, very standard in the industry. And here we can see.
I mean, when you see this is amazing.
Where the magic happens. Yeah. Exactly. So the new S11 and S11P are working with the IR drying system.
So that is a new thing that you have here, basically, right?
This is the new drying system. The print heads are over to the left.
Yeah.
So the print heads, the print bars come over the blanket.
Yeah.
That is already spinning. You can see it spinning.
So the blanket, and just for our viewers to see, understand, we were in the lab before, and it's quite amazing because when you print on the it's not like rubber, but it's kind of smooshy anyway.
Unique
right?
composition,
yeah.
silicones.
Yeah. And it's funny because then when you print on it, even with all the wonderful colors, you can hardly see it, right?
You can hardly see it, yeah. But the reason you can see it is because part of the nano ink is the nano pigments, which are extremely powerful absorbers of light. So basically, when you print the nano ink on a black background, all the light is absorbed.
Yeah.
So nothing comes back to the eye. And this is part of the technology, and this is part of the reason why our prints look the way they look. Really exceptional print quality, very deep, very vivid colors.
And basically, then when you have printed on the blanket, which is the nanography process, I can see the print head is going down now.
Yeah, so the printer is coming over the blanket. We will start printing now. All the ink is being jetted, 7 color bars, being dried. And here is the point of contact between the blanket and the substrate. So this is where the image is being transferred. We also, you can see here the AQM, Active Quality Management System, which is part of the Print AI module.
So like a camera system?
It's a scanner system. It's part of the Print AI module that is part of the S11 and S11P. Basically scans every dot on the page, and using PQAI.
Yeah, that's a new software that you're introducing also.
It's a new software to make sure that the quality is where it needs to be. So we trained the system on many different modules to explain what good printing looks like. And now it matches what goes through the press, make sure that it really looks good.
What I was surprised about in the lab, because people cannot see that on a press that is running, but it's basically that the moment that you're printed on the belts and you have a piece of substrate on it, you have actually the full quality. It doesn't require a lot of pressure, basically.
So here you have the transfer cylinder. It's just with a light touch. It transfers the image to the substrate. The substrate goes through the Komori system to the coating unit, and the blanket spins around again. So it's an 11-meter long blanket. On every blanket iteration, we have 11 sheets that are transferred.
And then, sorry to interrupt you, but Yarden, there was this thing that I paid attention to. That was that when I had the paper in my hand and put it on the blanket, basically when we remove the paper, all the print is gone from the blanket.
Exactly.
So that basically means that you don't have any specific cleaning process for the blanket, right?
Exactly. We have very light cleaning, but basically the ink is very tacky. After the drying system, it's very tacky, and it jumps onto the paper. once it hits the paper, it becomes hard. And then the blanket continues to spin after all the ink has been transferred. So, like I mentioned, we have the coating unit, hybrid coating system, Komori, Harrison, Bruno, and Baldwin, very, very standard. You don't need to requalify any types of new coatings. You can use the same Flexo blankets.
Okay, so that is just so you can do spot coatings with a blanket, basically.
Yeah,
okay.
If you have offset presses, you can take the same blanket, same coatings, just put them on this system. There's no need to reapprove anything with the brand.
Before we go on, should we check some print samples? Sure. Yeah. I mean,
so here we have some of the samples that are printed that shows the breadth of the types of applications we do. So we have, we're targeting commercial applications and packaging applications today with nanography. We have customers who are doing publishing, doing all sorts of GCP works. Everything is with the same inks. So really, really exceptional color quality, color stability, and sharpness and vividness of the images.
I was just wondering, because I was just thinking that I could imagine, I don't know, but when you do, for example, packaging, right? How is it? Because I mean, a question is always like scratch resistancy and these kind of things, and how it works in the foldings. But it seems to have the qualities that you need, right?
Yeah. So first of all, we use a very thin ink layer because of the nano ink. We use about half of the thickness of offset. So that's one thing. So we use less ink on the printed sheet. And of course, customers who need that extra protection,
they have the coater.
They have the coater.
Yeah.
But even without the coater, all of these commercial applications, we're doing it without coating. And you can see the ink is dry already when it's moving onto the substrate because it's dried on the press. And then in terms of image fastness, we have all the qualifications. Of course, you've been to the lab today, so you know what types of testing we do. Yeah. But in terms of light fastness, image fastness, we have no issues with scrub, rub, scratch. Of course, all of these are being done before we make any changes to anything in the press.
One of the things that your colleague Sharon told us this morning was also that even with the CMYK version of the Landa, you can still have a broader gamut. I think you said 86% of. So a job like, I mean, of course you could have a loop and look at it, but that basically means that you can get better image quality even without 7 colors, right?
Yeah. So first of all, the press runs at the same speed, whether it's 4 or 7 colors, so 6,500 sheets or 11K for those who purchase the module, the module. So there's no impact on the speed. And really the 7-color system is for spot colors, brand colors. So all of our packaging companies have 7-color systems.
Okay, so would you say that let's say that you're a commercial printer that wants to invest in this machine, right? And they use offset today, for example, right? 4-color will give them at least the same quality as they have on an offset press.
Yeah, they're running 4 colors on offset.
And if you
even much larger, ISO CMYK on offset is 64% of the color gamut. We have 84 with 4 colors. Okay. And 86, sorry.
Yeah, and if you said it, is it standard with 7 colors? Is that a version you buy 4 or 6?
You can either purchase 4 or 7 colors.
Okay. So if you have, for example, a 7-color version, that is typically like you have the Coca-Colas of the world that want to have a special color for their branding. So that is why you use that kind of thing, right? And of course to do the extreme gamuts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we can run CMYK. We can even run RGB, which even improves the technology. But basically, when we sit down with the customers to talk about the configurations, we of course look at their applications, we look at the job basket, and we can advise on what we think is needed. But of course, customers can choose whatever they want. Even customers who are purchasing a 4-color system can always upgrade to 7 colors.
Okay, so you can
basically adding 3 bars in the press.
And that is the same as 11K module can be upgraded to if you have a standard version. And
if you have the IR system with the new S11 and S11P, then you can upgrade later on.
And also good to know is that if you have an S10P with the IR color, then drying, then you can also upgrade it to an S11 basically.
Yes.
Right?
So the last few versions of the S10 and S10 and S10P went out with the IR drying. These customers can be upgraded as well, for sure. Let's go see some printing?
Yeah, let's go see some printing.
Okay, so on this configuration, we also have a double delivery configuration.
Yeah.
And this is really to maximize the agility and flexibility of the operator. Basically, when you're printing, right now we're printing to the exterior, but you can have full functionality. You can choose which jobs goes to which delivery. When one pallet is full, it automatically goes to the next pallet. And really, this is for sort of the digital mindset to give you full flexibility. You can print, if you have a rush job, you can print it here. You can print the next job, and then you can already take this to finishing, for example.
It also seems to me like very convenient if you go into packaging more and more, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I can say that all of our latest configurations that we sold were double deliveries. So here we can see the Landa interface application, which is also has been redesigned ahead of the launch of the new models. You can see that we have 10 jobs in the queue, 2,200 sheets. It will take us 20 minutes to print. This press is running at 6,500 sheets per hour. The next press we're going to see will be running at the higher speed, so you will be able to see the difference. And as long as we're keeping the same substrate and same coating, we can run from job to job. Okay, so this job has 70 sheets to go. The second this job is finished, it will automatically go to this job. So there's no wait time, there's no make ready.
And basically you can just see the sequence of jobs.
You can see the sequence of jobs. You can upload hundreds of jobs to the queue. This is of course connected to the pre-press, to the production manager. So the production manager can see what the press is printing. We have what we call Landa Insight, which is a cloud-based application that everybody in the factory who has permissions to go can look at the press, can look at the maintenance that's being done or needed to be done, see what the job queue is like. And here you can see that we already transferred to this job, and you can see it here. So there was no zero wait time. And again, this is printing at 6,500 sheets per hour, B1 sheet. There's a lot of data that's being streamed, but we have our computers are powerful enough to really take all of the data and provide this solution.
So Jordan, when you see the cockpit, of course, it's like fascinating to see all this. Yeah. Is it difficult to use this machine, or?
First of all, you need to be tech savvy. Okay, so you need to know how to work with a computer, how to work with a mouse.
I think that's a fair assessment, right?
Yeah, but you know, we're coming into an industry with some customers, they have a 60, 50-year-old pressman working on offset for 30 or 40 years.
Changes.
It's basically a change. Yeah. Not everybody wants to change, not everybody, but it's okay. Yeah. I think with this technology, what we find is that we can draw new talent into the industry. Young people who don't want to mess with inks and all of that stuff, but really want to work with computers. So this is part of the exciting thing about this. Everything here is touchscreen. Everything here is technology. We're connected to the DFE, so you can actually do some of the pre-press work on this screen before you send it over to the LIA. By the way, we changed 2 jobs since we talked. The press hasn't stopped. It's continued to run.
Yeah, and so this is basically where you see what is on press right now. And this is more like the health of the machine, or is it also?
So this is more of the health of the machine. By the way, this is the screens that are not operated to the operator. We also have a camera system, so you can see cameras, but this is for technicians to work. Okay. Here you can see the scans that are showing from the EQM. Yeah. So you can see what's going on. You can see a type of registration markings. Yeah. If you have the PQAI, then it scans the complete sheet, but you can see the scan. Yeah. You can look at it. And this screen is basically the customer screen. You can put your MIS system. Right now, this is the Fiery DFE, the digital front end. You can put here MIS system. Customers who have IC integrated into the press can put here the IC system, then they can see the IC reports if there are any issues. By the way, with double delivery with IC, we can reject faulty sheets to the second delivery. Here you can see that the job already changed. Now we're running pharmaceutical packaging inside the press. So of course, when we're doing packaging, we want to change to board, but again, we want to show here the flexibility and productivity. We can ask Oleg to pull out a sheet. So here you can see a sort of a pharmaceutical job. This will be, of course, printed on board with knockout varnishes, which we can also do in the press. So a selective varnish, again, same flexo unit. Here you can see very, very small micro text.
Yeah, because this is quite amazing, right?
Yeah, so it basically looks like a black line for somebody who doesn't know.
Or print error, but it's not a print
Or
error.
a print error, but this is actually the microtext that we can do. This is a very simple application of security and brand protection, but of course with the digital workflow, we can introduce very, very sophisticated brand protection with VDP, changing QR codes, changing brand codes, all sorts of gouliage patterns that can change for every package. So that is part of the value that our customers are already selling to their customers. So it's another sort of a point that we don't maybe not always touch on in the pre-sale.
But which is really good afterwards.
But it's really good. Customers are making money. You can buy this page for X amount, or you can buy at X times 120% if you want a VDB code, for example.
I mean, this is an example of packaging. We saw some examples of commercial print. The customers
We're
that
back to commercial printing over there. So
but I'm just thinking that the customers that you have, are they often mixing both packaging and commercial, or is it more like you have packaging printers and you have commercial printers? Or?
I think, first of all, this is a collated set, so we can see 4 copies. This is a magazine.
Yeah.
So it's a collated set that is, again.
So it comes out collated, basically.
Yeah, so it comes out collated, and again, this is inline, continuing to print. But to answer your question, I think that what we're seeing is packaging converters are packaging converters. They have their business, they have their brands, and they're working. They just need to see how to answer to market trends. So they need to be more agile, need to be more productive, probably have some cost pressures, need to be innovative, depending on the type of packaging that they're doing. On the commercial side, we see more and more commercial customers going into packaging. So we have customers in Ireland, for example, who was a big POP shop. Now they're doing packaging. With the S11P, the board thickness is between 60 to 600 microns. On an S11, it's between 40 microns to 800 microns.
Wow.
But even on between 60 to 600 microns, you can do these types of commercial applications. But you can put in a board 300 GSM, and you can print packaging. And for us, there's no difference. I mean, you can see in the queue here, we're printing in magazines, collated, we're printing brochures, and we're doing packaging.
Yeah.
Of course, we need to change the board. We probably need to change the coating blankets.
Yeah.
But for us, it's the same.
And is it easy to change the blankets in general? Or?
It's a flexo unit.
Okay.
Anybody who knows how to change a flexo unit, flexo plate or flexo blanket.
Do you need to change the print blanket from time to time, or?
No. So you mean the Landa blanket?
Yeah.
So the Landa blanket is a consumable.
Okay.
Like the ink, basically. You need to change it periodically.
Yeah. Okay, so that's like every week, every month, or whatever.
Yeah, it depends. It depends on the volume. We usually do it during weekly maintenance.
Yeah.
You know, it's a simple operation. We do training, and people can do it.
Okay. So the customers can even do it themselves.
Yeah, of course. Operators are doing it themselves. We don't need to.
Fantastic. I mean, it's. I mean, of course, the machine looks very similar to the S10 because it is S10 frame and things like that.
It's built on the. It is based on the S10 with a lot more value.
Yeah, but I think exactly because I think it seems like that. I mean, the talking that you have done with your customers. I know that you had in Israel. Was it in December that you had or in November you had the first user group counseling here in Israel, right?
It was supposed to be, but because of the war that started in October, we postponed it.
Oh, okay, but then it was supposed to be.
But it was supposed to be, and of course, we're in touch with our customers. For me, I was at the pre-drupa event in Amsterdam last week.
Yeah.
For me, it was very touching to see. We had customers coming in. We even had 2 customers coming in from the States.
Yeah.
We had Paul Hudson and we had Tom Ling coming in. And for me, to see customers who are willing to fly over the ocean, to talk to customers and share their experience and also learn from the European colleagues who have Landas today, like James from Blue Tree, just to give one example, but we have many names in the audience. For me, it's the sort of a community of knowledge sharing and idea sharing, and we also do it with the customers. So you know, I said Paul Hudson and Tom Link, but if they come up with an idea and it's important for their business, then in our business culture, we want to make it happen for them.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the walkthrough.
Yeah.